How you doing? Well, my name is OPTiMiS and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be going over how I create my thumbnails and channel art. Mostly over thumbnails, however. Specifically going for the PUBG ones. You could do for CSGO, Pokemon, a bunch of other games, but for now I'm going to be focused on CSGO. I just created this one not so long ago, and clearly see it looks alright. It's not the best. I kind of rushed it. But yeah, now I'm going over what I use to create your thumbnails, how I do it, and yeah. Pretty much all I do is first you gotta open up Source Filmmaker. Now Source Filmmaker is free on Steam. You can download it. It's not a game, it's however a program, but it's great for 3D modeling games because you already just import your models into it from Maya or even Source Filmmaker files or files from Team Fortress or whatever game you have. So yeah, I'm just gonna name this PUBG 4. And I'm gonna, doesn't matter about the frame rate because we're doing ourselves a photo image or just a poster, I should say. And yeah, let's just, I'm gonna exit out of it because I don't really care about it. New, and then just do this and then create because I found that way a little bit easier. Now, first you have to do is load in your map. I'm just going to choose any random map for this. You can do from CSGO, which I have imported, but I'm going to do one from TF. Now, it's depending on the map size, it will take a little bit longer to render and load in, so I'll be back. And here we are. On side, this nice little silo place. Oh, this is the map I've been looking for a while, actually. I feel like I didn't write this name down. So let's just pick up a position right over here. By the way, to move around, I'm just clicking and move with the WASD keys, which is something amazing about SFM. You can use the freaking like in-game keys. You can press shift to speed up process, like things you typically used to be in game and moving game. So I think this corners here is really good. I'm not gonna go in depth on how to import models. You just look up any tutorial about it. I might link some down below. You want to first create animation set for a new model, and then I'm just going straight to my PUBG one, which I have listed, and then our character should be there. And I just want to import that in there. Basically like any 3D program, if you're familiar with it, using any, go down, move this around according to the axes, keep this close, and to keep it at ground level, you just press this little box here and just press shift and it will go on the ground automatically. And I want to actually zoom in on the camera, zoom on him. Camera 1 is going to move in as well. And one thing I like to do early on is actually create animation for existing element, and that will be camera 1. The reason I'm doing that, I'll get into later. So first, when you create a model, pretty much animate him any way you want. So I'm just gonna drop down here, go through his face, get into a work camera so you can move around a bit. Let's actually make him bend. Why not? And then have a spine go the opposite direction. Something random, something goofy like I usually do right now. And should be right there. Now what we want to do is actually align this camera with that buggy. So what I can do is like this. Little close-up shot will never hurts anyone. Go back to the work camera, and you actually move your avatar in front of the camera too. Maybe move your camera out a bit more, and maybe like this, and rotate it a little bit so it fits on the seat, and then just do that. As right now, it doesn't really matter if, like how it's like set because nobody will see it in the thumbnail anyways. You know, some people may try to do it or may want to do it just so get the full effect, just in case we want to animate it later. But since I'm not going to be animating it at all, I'm just going to leave it like this. Next up, you could adjust his arms by clicking on this little bar here titled arms. You could adjust the clavicle, upper arm with this. You can also adjust his fingers later on, but for now, it's going to do the hands. And you just want to adjust this any way possible. Basically how you want to, it's basically how you'd react and hold things in real life. So obviously your arms wouldn't be that close to it, so just move the clavicle back and move it up a little bit more. Maybe twist his upper arm a little bit, and then twist the forearm a lot, just so it lines up with that steering wheel. Then you can also adjust the hands, bend it. Excuse me. You also adjust the hands, bend it down a little bit, just so that thumb is over the steering wheel, maybe. And then you do the same for the left arm, basically. Got stereotype, radios turn me down cause I won't turn up on the mic. I'd rather rap about my life and give advice to someone who's about to give up on life that's real. Man, fuck how you feel. Independent cause I don't need a deal. Picked up the mic and I put down the pills. Picked up the vibes, I don't care how I feel. Remember my grandpa passed away and it killed my dad. I saw life is in promise, so I made a promise and I pursue my dreams. Please like that, like he's trying to turn. So you also adjust his hands right here. Actually, I believe the fingers you might want to go to. Go to right fingers. These right here, these first two are going to be a thumb, so I'm just zoom in a little bit on that there, so I can actually see his hands properly. I can just do it properly as well. Well, I guess the illusion will be so that his hands are over it, and then just move this forward a little bit. Now these are things you might want to actually take some time to do and adjust a little bit more. Cause you just got to bend this over, then bend that one over with that. And then you get yourself a nice little finger. And same thing goes for this one. Probably move this one inward a little bit more. That one in, and then more in for these fingers. Basically, want to repeat the steps for all the fingers as long as you want to, because you don't have to do as in depth if I'm going into it. Because I mean all the thumbnails, I actually do all the fingers because nobody will be able to see them in the first place because the way thumbnails are positioned and shaped. Let's move this out a little bit more. Actually, let the pinky, and then do that in a little bit, and then that more outward. And you see, it's like he's trying to steer the wheel, struggling to at least. But then let's do the left fingers a little bit as well. Had a dream I'm pursuing. It's hard to have these hopes and dreams, especially when I got. You can also adjust Avatar's eyes a little bit if you want, up, down, if you just let me see him. Game, I mean not game, thing. Source filmmaker, yep. Up, down. Let's make him go a little crazy. And then, yeah, little crazy eyes right there. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Basically, you also want to go to here. I just right click, my avatar, rig. You can change his armor up. I'm gonna give him level 3 armor. Give him a backpack if you like, but no one's really gonna see it. You can actually see like a little bit of it over his shoulder. I might also give him a helmet, maybe a level 2. After all, he looks like he's in the military ready already. Maybe a jacket, because sometimes the shirts do bug, and you can adjust that, of course, but it's just more of a pain too. Like that one comes out nicely, but a lot of other ones don't come out so nice. Right now I'm just clicking on random ones. Let's do the jacket, because I like what the jackets look. See, jackets come out perfectly, but I want to give him a trench coat. So I believe this one, no, not that one. So I'm just going to skip to that one, whatever have you. There, just give him a random jacket. He looks good. He looks really good. One thing you can also do is go to the camera, adjust the focal distance. So basically it's like the focal point of the camera. So I want to do something a little bit like this, and then increase the aperture a bit. Let me see, like when I show you how like aperture works, see how blurry that is. That's basically aperture. So I'm just going to decrease that down to maybe, I think it's around 46% or so, maybe a little less. And then, yep, see now it's not focused, completely focused on the car, but then again, I kind of want it to be a little bit more on the car, so I'm going to adjust the focal distance just a little bit more, just so, oh wow, wow, I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing. This mouse really bugs a lot. just so it's outside the fingers, and maybe a little more into the face though, like that. Yeah, I guess like that. You also decrease aperture if you like, because right now it's not really working all is best for me, because I usually focus it like without the I usually don't use it on buggy cycles and everything on buggy pictures, because I can't focus on one thing at a time. I'm like, oh wait, I want this wheel to move. And yeah, I guess you pretty much it. You could go a lot more in depth, change up the style here, add some particles, but for now I'm just doing a simple, very simple thumbnail. So I'm just go to File, Export, and add it to Image. One thing about this is you can't just like click on the name and save it. You have to actually choose what you want to save it as. So I'm just going to New So, go to the desktop, and call this one op.png. Just make it rhyme and save that. You can also save this in here and exit out, if it will let me exit out. Next, you want to open up Photoshop, which is what I usually do. And I've basically set a preset for all my thumbnails. I'll get into depth about that. It's really simple. I'm just going to remove this image here and move this image here. I have a PUBG logo. I have a small stroke on it just so you can make it pop out more. I do have a rectangle. It's really simple to do that. Just grab yourself, excuse me, go to here, rectangle tool, and you just pretty much make the fill none, make the stroke however much you like, and then stroke it. No, don't do that. And then stroke it around. And then click on it and drag. No, click. Okay, my mouse does not like to work today. I forgot to get a new one after breaking it. But you basically drag and drop it, drag and drag it, click and drag it all the way down here. Make it whatever color you like. I prefer white so it can blend some of the YouTube background, make it seem like the thumbnail is a little shorter. Also, I have a nice 3D effect. I'll get into that later on. You can add a stroke to it if you like, just to make it pop out more, which is something I like to do. One thing I also do is add a lined background. Right here is a nice line background. Just get the background a little more character. I did that before in my older thumbnails, and I started liking it, so I continued it. So one thing I did adjust those, I did lower it down to a lower percentage. Keep it at 26 for now. You can have your nice little logo up here, any logo. I'm just choosing PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds because obviously we're doing PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. You can also drag and drop your image in there. Perfect. One thing I like to do is click on the wand tool, Shift W, just so I can change it up a bit. Basically, what I have to do with this little magic quick selection tool, I'm gonna say magic wand, is I like to select all the image, all parts of the image that I want to keep beside the upground, or not going to be affected by the background, which is, I don't know the proper terms for it now, but I'll get into that later on. I'm going to select all this.
Had a dream I'm pursuing. It's hard to have these hopes and dreams, especially when I got
strokes around there, just that there, move this here, and remove this here. And see, looks, you know, like strokes. Get rid of, actually add that into it. There we go. One thing I like to do is actually press Control C and then Control D, just deselect it, and Control V to paste it on that there. As on that, on top of there. Drag the main one below it, and then see, you got a nice little background. One thing you can adjust, however, is if you miss any strokes, you can just erase it simply. Press the wrong button, didn't I? Shift D, wrong one as well. Click on the top layer. There you go. And get around those little edges that you don't want to be seen. But look, you can pretty much leave it like that if you like, but I like to do a little bit more adjustment to it. I'm gonna drag this above it. Actually, I should leave it below, because that gives it a pretty nice effect. You could also move it around, shrink it if you like. Maybe put this below, just for a 3D effect, like I said. Erase some more parts of that I don't really need. And maybe zoom into that and actually put that in there and erase those little lines, really noticeable ones. And maybe get rid of that dot in there. There. Perfect. And of course, could erase a little bit more around the edges if you like. If you want to be, if you're like a perfectionist like me, or a near perfectionist like me, because I don't like to be perfect. I like to be near perfect. This video might be showing the quite opposite of that. And there you go. Nice and neat. Then what I like to do also is add a little stroke around here. Not too noticeable. Drop shadow could be fine if you like. Stroke is also nice if your image is nice and smooth, but obviously mine isn't, so I can stick with the drop shadow. Make this one black. Increase the distance a little bit, just by a little bit. Just give that 3D look, see? Maybe a little bit like that. And you don't have to increase anything else. Just copy these settings if you like. And yes, you got this nice little 3D effect going on. And then one last thing you can do is actually go to adjustments, curves, and adjust that down, just make it better pop out. And just a little pop out never hurts. And yeah, there you go. That's how I create my thumbnails, basically. A little bit unorthodox video, I'm sorry. I was kind of rushing it because I am going to be doing a lot of other different videos planned. I also had a lot of work to do today for school. But yeah, by the time this video is posted, I'll be streaming 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I'll be streaming every Thursday. So today I'll be streaming a little bit more. Today, the video. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, be sure to like and subscribe. If you guys have any questions, sure to join me for the live stream. And yeah, stay optimistic as always. Stay blessed, you all. Peace.